Good morning, people. Alexa, what is the date and time?
It's 5:55 a.m.
What is the date? Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Saturday, May 28th.
Aha. Okay. And Alexa, what is the weather like today? Alexa, what is the weather?
In Pahrump, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for mostly sunny weather with a high of 89 degrees and a low of 58 degrees.
Okay. So, hold on a second. Okay, I'm apparently having tea this morning because I forgot to put the coffee in the espresso machine. So it generally does not work out well. Generally does not work out well when you just put water in there. All right, so today is Saturday. Another week is over, or might be about to begin. So we've got some projects that we'd like to get people involved in, volunteer, and to make money. Everybody should know that in the last week, we got a tremendous amount of donations. That is indirectly thanks to David Kohlmeyer, who made a key introduction for us. So we're going to have a garage sale up here. And the idea is to use the rooms and the parking lot to host the garage sale. So we need somebody to coordinate this. I think there could be a tremendous amount of sales because we have accumulated other things in the past. A lot of clothes too. And in my garage in Henderson, we have a lot of stuff. So the idea is a gigantic garage sale where we get the rooms set up for different themes. This room could be kitchenware. This room could be clothing. This room could be this. This room could be that. Sports memorabilia. And then, of course, all of the books that we have. So we would like somebody who wants to coordinate that. And you will be a partner, meaning you will get a share of the profits. And the profits will be determined as the actual costs, or the net revenue minus the actual cost. So net revenue would be gross revenue minus things like taxes, returns, things like that. The actual money we got to keep, that's our money, minus the direct costs. We have no cost of goods sold. All of the stuff was donated. So our costs would be any permits, any supplies, materials we had to get if we advertised in the newspaper and radio. Those would be direct costs. And then we subtract from the direct costs. We subtract the direct costs from the net revenue, and you would get whoever, one or two, more than one person, whoever wants to coordinate this gets a healthy share of the profits. Certainly more than anybody is earning per hour right now. And the ability to learn a valuable skill. So it's 6 o'clock. Okay. Now, learning, earning, and yearning. That's the topic of today. We're at almost 5 minutes. Everybody goes through 3 stages of life. Everybody. The learning stage, and today neuroscientists figure the human brain is basically formed, not basically, it's formed by the mid-20s. And then there starts to be a little bit of, a decline in cognitive abilities. But up until the mid-20s, the brain is still forming, pairing things that are not needed, developing things that are. So about the mid-20s is when our brain is ready to go. So that's kind of like physiologically the end of the learning stage. Doesn't mean people stop learning. And it starts the second you're born. And it's what we do, it's what our brain does. So learning. The second stage is earning. That's going out and being productive and hopefully being compensated for the labors. And then the third stage is yearning. Everybody goes through all 3 stages. Stage 1 starts the second you're born. We don't have any control over it. It's what we do, our brain does, what society does. It nurtures its members, and we're constantly learning. Our brain is always learning things, curiosity, trying to solve problems, etc. See if this changes the audio at all. So, learning. And then most people consciously, I would say most people non-consciously give up learning. And as Nolan says, by the time you're in the 3rd grade, you start identifying whether you're smart or not. You notice things like, I don't finish tests faster. Wow, that was easy. I finished before everyone else. By the 6th grade, you have an identity of you're smart or not smart. You have a belief. And that starts forming your self-identity. Our self-identity is made up of nothing more than our self-beliefs. So if you believe you're not smart, if you believe school is hard, you're going to be very different than a person who believes school is fun and exciting and interesting. And wow, I don't really know a lot. In fact, it's incredible how much I don't know, but I like learning. So by the 9th grade, you kind of figured it out. If somebody comes along with an easier path, an easier plan, hey, here's some reefer. Try this, it's really cool. You'll go down that path. And once that happens, the fluid intelligence part of your brain gets wiped out. We just don't care anymore. And then the people so then what it appears is that the people who continue to learn, they appear to just take off compared to the people who tapped out. And that doesn't include any impairment drugs caused to your brain. So learning starts immediately and it continues into the 20s unless it's interrupted by other behavior, like our self-identity, our self-beliefs that we're not smart. That's okay, it's just a fact, that's how it works. Earning is kind of the things society tells us we have to do. Go get a job. And for people who don't like learning, they immediately want to go into earning. The problem is, the less you learn, the less you earn, almost exclusively. Now somebody can say, well, Lincoln didn't go to school. Well, yeah, but he was a lifelong learner. He was a great autodidactic. He would spend hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years teaching himself. He didn't have the luxury of going to law school, but he learned the law enough to pass the Illinois bar. And then he became an attorney and he made his living doing that. He didn't have formal education, but he didn't not learn. In other words, he did learn. I'm just trying right now to think of how can you earn a lot of money if you don't have skill, if you haven't learned something. I can't think of it. Now, luck is a little bit different. You can be lucky and have parents who have money and give it to you. You can be lucky and win the lottery. You can be lucky and get hit by a car and get a big settlement. But that's not really the best strategy. The better strategy is to learn and then earn. In fact, it's kind of interesting that people with the highest IQs invest the most amount of money in their own education. So, for example, Stanford might cost 80-something thousand dollars a year. 75% of the people, at least 75% of the people who go there, need financial assistance to go there. They're willing to invest in themselves because they understand that the more they learn, the more they earn. And when you look at what are the starting salaries of people who leave Stanford, way more than CSN or UNLV. They're not in the same universe. When the earning stage is over, not necessarily when it's over, but at a certain point we go to the yearning stage. Everybody goes through that. What does Bill Gates yearn for? What does Elon Musk yearn for? What does Jeff Bezos yearn for? What did Steve Jobs yearn for? Time, more time. And my hunch would be let's say Elon Musk is worth, say, $300 billion. Let's say he says, they say to him, for $150 billion, we can stop the clock on your aging for 10 years. Would he do it? Probably. Why? Because he would have an attitude that I can get it back. I don't need 10 years to get that $150 billion back. I can get it back in about 5. And imagine what I can do if you give me 10 more good years. I can accomplish so much more. So, learning, earning, and yearning. The people who don't earn, yearn. And here's the good news. It's never too late to start. You do not have to self-identify as being dumb. You're not dumb. You're just less educated than you should be, than the norm for your age. Why are you less educated? My hunch is because you were raised in a family situation that didn't have the means or the desire to make learning a premium. Is that your fault? No. Okay. But you shouldn't use that as an excuse. Okay, my family sucked. My parents were drug addicts. Whatever. Just leave it behind. Doesn't really matter. In the big scheme of things, it's totally unimportant. It just doesn't matter. So, we are at 1351. Today's message, learning, earning, yearning. And here's the bottom line. Everybody goes through those 3 stages. Period. End of story. No exceptions. Everybody goes through those 3 stages of life. If you want to have the best experience of life, learn. Okay, everybody's in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. It's not too late. It's not too late. You can always learn something. We are here to help. We have a way to figure out what you should do, where you should go, what path you should follow. We have a great environment up here at Camp Rain Man, a very nurturing educational environment, ideal for people just coming out of prison to decompress and get ready for the real world. But for anybody who's serious about moving forward in life and wants to take a little, to step off the rat wheel for 3 weeks, this is the great place to do it. And so I will be out looking at property today. up here. I, of course, will be available by phone. And thank you to the people who have prepaid for June. Everyone else, here's the deal. It's $175 a week. If you prepay, that doesn't mean pay all at once. If you prepay, in other words, before June, it is $600. We take off whatever the amount is. Otherwise, it's $175 per week. Okay, Jeff and Greg will be around to assist. And with that, I will say cut. Oh, can't say cut yet because we forgot the most important part. Yesterday was the only easy day. Take that to heart. Think about it for 5 seconds. Make a commitment. You know what? Today, Saturday, the last Saturday in May of 2022, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to just do a little bit more than I did yesterday. So when my head hits the pillow tonight, I can say, yep, I did a little bit more than yesterday. I pushed myself and I showed gratitude for being alive by using the resources and the tools I have to do my best. And with that, I will say cut.